is Tom Brady's GOAT status in jeopardy. I just named out the stats in my sound off of everybody going on over there. But I'll say this. Tom Brady there's only two people, in my opinion, in the history of sports who have a 100% undisputed GOAT claim. As much as I love Michael Jordan, he's not one of them two that I was going to name, because I feel like, y'all know how I feel about LeBron. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I feel like if you say LeBron James is a GOAT, even though I disagree with you, I won't argue with you. Wayne Gretzky has no, there's not even niggas who are close to Wayne Gretzky stat wise. And you even look at some of it, it's like it looked like video game shit. Tom Brady's the next one. As much as we're praising Patrick Mahomes, he's still 21 playoff victories behind this nigga. There's so many different things that you have to do to even get up there. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to be surrounded by the right talent. It depends on how long Andy Reid wants to coach. That's a big thing we're also not talking about. So there's other factors that go with it, and Brady was able to do stuff that nobody else has been able to do health-wise. There's only two people in history of sports I've seen that be that great that long. It's Tom Brady and LeBron James. And on the individual perspective, what LeBron is doing is just asinine. You know what I'm saying? I know Brady won the MVP at 40, definitely. This nigga had 20 rebounds on Saturday. It's like some ridiculous ass shit. So, but if there's anybody who has even a remote chance to get to Tom Brady, it's Patrick Mahomes. Just because the way he started his career much faster and much more dominant than Tom Brady did. So he's definitely on the path of doing it. But I still think we got to, pump the brakes a little bit, see how long can he have the longevity? Will he still be doing it in the year 2034? You know what I'm saying? That the same thing that he's doing now. Can he stay healthy? That's a big key that we got to see from going on there. And also one thing that's also going to hurt him, even if he does get close. And I'm with you, Dante. As far as talent-wise, I think talent-wise, he's the best quarterback of all time. We're just going off talent. It's not even close. We're going off talent. But to be the GOAT, you got to include, accomplishments and everything like that. But he still lost to Brady twice. And I feel like something at the end, we measure both resumes, no matter how close it'll be, I think that'll probably be the deciding factor for a lot of people. But Courtney, what do you feel about the GOAT debate? If there's anybody who can get close to Brady, you think Mahomes is on the right path to do that?
I mean, yeah, he's definitely on that path. And I saw someone else say it in the comments. There's nobody else active right now that is even in the same conversation or even on that same trajectory. So yeah, that they're the only two in the discussion. And yeah, with time, Patrick Mahomes isn't even 30 yet. Absolutely, he can get there. Absolutely, he can get there.
Well, I think it's a Swanklin San Diego said Pat wins this year, he locks at least top 3 of all time. I mean, I think that's fair if he wins this year. I think he got to win this year before we get a little off the top. No, we talking about the current niggas. It's not even a discussion. When we get into the things with greats in that, you got to win more. I mean, he's still over Peyton Manning for me. I think he cross Peyton Manning. That's just my opinion, because he actually looked good in the Super Bowls he won. I'm not being a bitter Bears fan, but let's be real. That Super Bowl MVP in 2006 should have went to Dominic Rhodes and fucking Joseph Adai. If you want to be really, really, real about that. And in 2015, that nigga was carried by Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware. But that's neither here nor there. So I think Pat has surpassed him. But I do think if he wins this shit, then it takes that, even further. But Dante, what do you think about this?
Absolutely. I think, at this point, like I said a few minutes ago, bro, because it's going to get to the point from a personal accolade standpoint and stats, he's going to smoke Tom Brady. Like they put the graphic together, they first 60 however many games they've played, and he's outpacing them in everything, so the numbers are going to be there. He may not catch him in championships, but like I said, if this man walks away with 4 or 5 MVPs, 4 or 5 Super Bowls, like I said, he's the best quarterback I've ever seen, and especially for as much bill as y'all was just shooting Aaron Rodgers a couple years ago, talking about he's the most talented, this, that, and the third.
Who the fuck is we?
I'm not you. Of course not you. Of course not. Of course not the people on this set, but the others. But in no way, shape, or form, you know what I'm saying, can you really deny this man, bro? Like I said, every time they've lost, you know what I'm saying, it ain't been his fault. So we really can't do that, bro. I think as far from a talent standpoint, and you're getting to a point where from a talent and a team accolade standpoint, he's the best we've ever seen. Because one thing about Pat that, this weekend solidified for me is he is the only one that we've seen that can flip that switch. And it's just like, okay, you don't think I can do this? Okay, let me show you. And he's done it several times, even in the Super Bowl when his ankle was fucked up, and he went out there and did his thing. So like every time you doubt this man, he's that old school. Okay, I'm gonna show you who I am. Where it's like a lot of people these days, they don't seem too mad about losing. Whereas like with
All
Pat,
these
he takes
niggas
this
is
shit
too
personal.
cool, man.
Yeah,
These
he
niggas,
clearly takes it personal. It's old school.
I don't know if anybody saw Quarterback season 1 on Netflix, but that's when I knew he was a psycho. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he told Travis Kelce, I think they're playing the Raiders, and he's on the sideline. He told Kelce, he's like, "You motherfuckers run the zone on me, man. I take that disrespectful." like he just get, it kind of looked like Jordan in The Last Dance, and I don't know if anybody saw Kobe Muse documentary that came out a couple years before he died. It kind of gave me that, oh, he's a psycho. I like this nigga even more. Bane, what do you feel about the GOAT conversation?
All right, so I'm a little bit older than y'all, and I'm seeing Dan Marino and all of those in the prime. And for me, the best quarterback I've ever seen play is Dan Marino, bar none. I don't think nobody throws a D ball like that, man. That shit's so clean and crisp. Then I look at Pat. Pat is Dan Marino if Dan Marino would have got them rings. That's what I look at. That when I look at Patrick Mahomes and I look at everything he's doing, this is what everybody expected Dan Marino to do. And that's why, while I can't give him the GOAT thing yet, because the most talented quarterback I think in that I've seen as far as throwing the ball is Dan Marino. And because Tom Brady got all of those rings, but Dan Marino and Tom Brady together is going to give you everything what Patrick Mahomes is going to have. If Patrick Mahomes win this ring right here, he winning at least 2 more. He's not going to be a situation where he wins this and then we just don't see him in the playoffs, or we don't see him winning an AFC championship. The man's going to be back in the Super Bowl at least 2 to 3 more times with this team. And I don't care if Andy Reid retires or not, unless Matt Nagy takes over. Like, that's the only thing about the Andy Reid situation that scares me as far as like the longevity of winning rings. If he retires, who's going to take his place? And it ain't nobody on that staff. You try to give Matt Nagy this job, fuck it. You just ruined everything. But I truly believe that everything that Dan Marino wanted to get and what Tom Brady got, you're going to put them together, and that's going to be Patrick Mahomes. And I think right now I can never give somebody the greatest of all time tag while they're like not even halfway through their career, because that's the scary part. He ain't even halfway there. But when it's all said and done, Scott, I think you're right, to the point where Patrick Mahomes might be in Gretzky territory. Y'all got to remember, Gretzky broke the scoring record like early in his career.
Yeah.
And he spent the rest of the year blowing that shit out the water. It's not many people like Gretzky when you say greatest of all time and you look at the steep decline. And that steep decline is like people like Mario Lemieux, Jameer Jagger. Like, if you look at that man and then you look at everybody below him, you like, damn, them niggas is cold too. So, yeah, y'all just get ready, man. Your grandkids' kids gonna be talking about Patrick Mahomes and how cold he is.
Yeah, I didn't know. One thing. I appreciate Bang on this show. Shout out my man Damien. Y'all made me feel younger, so I appreciate y'all. But like everybody else, like on Twitter, who be call me Unc and shit. I realize how young y'all niggas are because y'all forget like how the Patriots were. There's a lot of people who already forgot the dominance of the Patriots. How many teams? Remember those mid 2000s Chargers teams? The Phillip Rivers, LT. And Brady would just come in there with a team he had no business. Antonio Gates, a team he had no business, beating them with, coming in and doing. This is the kind of shit that Mahomes does. And if I was in the AFC, I would be so pissed that 20 years of Tom Brady, and then this nigga just, we got another nigga who might be even better than him that you got to hang on for the next.
So you saying the AFC should feel like Bears fans?
Yeah, right. AFC, to an extent, because even though Jordan Love, look, I'm not really worried about that nigga, but we not here to rant about the Bears. But
that paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna